Hey everybody, it's Ed here with another episode of Let's Play with iOS Music Apps. Today I'm going to be looking at an app called Jam with Jordan. It's from Audiokit. It's currently on sale for $2.99. Not sure how long that's going to last, but anyway, there's a recent update to it, so I would definitely at least take a look at it on the App Store and see what it looks like. Now, this is going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. It doesn't have AUV3 and it doesn't have MIDI in and MIDI out. But I'm going to tell you why I like it. I'll just show you here. I have a lot of apps on my device, and I like this one a lot. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what it is that I like about it and what I find of value. So I view this as a musical playground more than anything. I don't use it like for creating music. I'll create some recordings from it because it can record and export the recording to get some ideas, but I'm not going to use it to try to create something and then build from there. But it is definitely inspirational. So I'm not going to go through the details on this app. That's covered in other videos. Like if you go to the sound test room, there's a real nice video in there where he goes into all the details about these pads, the settings, all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to show you a few things and what I'm using it for, and along the way, you'll get a view of some of these details. But I'm going to be focused on like, what is it about this app that makes it easy to create and fun and interesting, at least from my point of view. So I've got a project open here. If you look, you'll see that there's a bunch of projects that are built into the app. I've created a few of my own. This happens to be one of them that I created recently. So let me just give this a spin here. I might do a part 2 of this where I demonstrate a little more of the thing in action, but I'm going to try to do a little mix of the two on here. So let's just start it up and see what we got, and I'll play a little melody over the top here just to show you what you can do. All right, this can also play multiple notes if you have it set correctly. If you have this mono off here, you can do multiple notes on these pads. So you can do something like this. Now you'll notice that, I'm going to pause that for a second. If you press 2 together, you're going to get a third here because the ordering of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the scale. These are going to be a third apart. These are going to be a third apart. These are going to be a fifth apart. So for example, if we're in a scale that handles circle of fifths, like major or minor, for example. Oops, let me try that again. Yeah, okay. That would be the circle of fifths if you were able to continue. These are, you're able to scroll through the octaves on these, and you can change all sorts of settings in here. You can change the voicings on here. There's pads here where you can start and have it do a melody that's built in, like for example, number 2. And in here you can select the melody type from different choices. And I'm not going to go through them all, but it changes it up. Let me stop that for a second. So, that's fine for getting ideas if you want to use the built-in features, the built-in patterns. It gives you some idea of what goes with the chord patterns that's underneath, and that's going to be governed by that scale and by the particular pattern that you selected from this menu. If you press in the upper left, it gives you a choice of different patterns to start from. Then you can select your scale and your key and so forth from in here, and then you can tweak these settings. There's a lot of, I'm not going to go on all the settings, but there's a lot you can do. You can change it up quite a bit. Now, one thing that I think is quite interesting is there's a lot of keys to choose from in here. For example, here's a key that I've never heard of in my life. And if you notice, I don't know if this is covered in any other videos, but if you notice down here below it, there's some options under certain of these scales. I should say scales rather than keys. Certain of these scales, there's different algorithms appears. I'm not exactly sure what those mean, but it sort of looks like some sort of variations of the algorithmic pattern. Anyway, I'll just play a couple so you can get a feel for it. And I find it quite interesting because it tries to make something musical out of any scale that you throw at it, and it comes up with some really wild ideas. I mean, they're not super, they're not super wide. The algorithms are fairly limited, but within that space, it does throw out quite a variety of different feels. So let's just try this one, for example, and just see what we get if we change that scale up. Let's throw some notes at it here. Interesting. Let's try a couple chords. Now, you'll notice these don't have any chord labels on them. Normally they do, but in a key without, I think it doesn't know how to interpret the chords, in a standard format for this kind of key, so I think it just puts dots. That's just my guess. Anyway, let's press some of these and see what we get. In any case, it's these are still the chords of that scale, which I think is interesting in itself, and a cool way to experience those chords, like in an actual musical situation. I mean, there's lots of things that'll generate chords for you and let you play the chords, tonality, and so forth. But this lets you actually play the chords in a context, a musical context, where you've got something to work with. I mean, yeah, given it's limited, right? These algorithms aren't going to, cover a super wide range, but I think it definitely leads into interesting directions. So let's just let's try a couple of these and just see what we get. See what Jam with Jordan would have done with those. And here you can see some choices for the chords. You can modify the chords that play in these patterns. You can also modify, let's listen for just a second. Not bad. I mean, there's definitely something going on there. I can't say it's great, but it's not bad. It's not bad either. It could definitely go somewhere. Let me stop that. Now I'll show you something else with the chords here. So now if we switch to the manual chords, here you can actually see there's some chord position choices. So it gives you a little bit of freedom of how you want to voice these chords. Not highly controlled, but there is some variation you can throw at it. You can also adjust the mix, of course, on here. And here's something that I like. Let me go back to the melody. In here, there's this glide feature, which you can turn on. You got to turn mono on for this glide to kick in. Now, if I slide this glide over here, for example, it's going to glide between the notes. Turn that up just a little bit. Now, I'm going to glide across these notes. I mean, it can sound a little cheesy, but I think, if you do it right, if you just depending on... I'm telling you, if I was a kid, I would be getting a kick out of this, Anyway, let's turn that off for a second, and let's just stop this. So I think it's really fun, really neat, great for kids, great for anybody that's interested in exploring, new musical ideas in the framework of, these scales, these combinations, these patterns that it has here. These are the patterns that are built in. You can adjust the BPM on these, the tempo, but these are the 5 choices. I hear there's an update coming out, which is going to have more sounds and things. I'm hoping that they'll expand it. I'm really hoping. Matthew, if you're hearing me, hope it's coming out soon. And Matthew and team, I should say. I think it's a really cool app. So let me just talk a little bit about what I find helpful about this application in terms of creating ideas and creating musical, themes and motifs. I really like the layout in this. So, like, for example, if we kick this off again, let me pick another one. It's a little busy, but it might be okay. We'll see. Change that up. Yeah, let me leave the chords out of there. So what I really like about this is, if you've got some, you've got the first or the 1, you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, and you got the 5. So, if you have some sort of a pattern going, you can do 1, 4, 5 on the chords very easily. It's easy to find them. You can go between thirds. You can go between fifths from the root. It just makes it easy to do a lot of the things that you might follow based on some music principles, and find those first, fourths, and fifths in any key that you want. Pick any key in here. Let's try this key right here. Let's see what it does. Now that's a strange sound, right? But I think if I stay with 1, 4, and 5, I'm going to be pretty safe up in the melody range. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. Turn that up a little bit. There you go. Not great, but it gives you something to work with, and the structure really helps you find things. That's probably not a 1, 4, 5 type scenario. It's probably something like 6, 7, maybe 5, 6, 7. Where it's probably going to be more conducive to something sounding like normal music there. But you can quickly find these patterns. So I'm going to stop there. And I hope you enjoy the video today. And I would definitely recommend checking this out if you're just interested in exploring musical ideas, and look for updates. Who knows? Maybe they'll give it additional features and throw some features out that that like MIDI out, MIDI on. Who knows? We'll see. Thanks for joining. Have a good day.